Okay, so I'm waiting on so many parts for this car, it's not funny. I'm waiting on hub nuts and washers for the front hubs to do something with the front wheels. I've got to order brake cables for the rear. I've got to get a brake booster, I haven't even got that. So in the meantime, I'm going to do something with this hydro. Normally I think they mount up here somewhere, or about there. I'm not really fond of that. I don't want to drill a hole in there either, so I'm going to do what some other companies have done and make a bracket to fit it here. It's because my little short stumpy arms, I'm not going to be able to reach the handbrake all the way back here anyway, so just there, pretty much in line with the gear stick, is going to be spot on. So I've done a crappy sketch, and I've put some aluminium outside the shed door. I think it's been marinating in piss for at least 4 years, but go and make it into something. I was going to do it by hand, but I'm going to do it on the CNC because it's going to end up way better. Okay, so step one, go to computer. Take crappy hand drawing. Enter drawing into SOLIDWORKS to make a crappy 3D model. Okay, so I've finished 3D modelling the part that I want. It's a hole for the shifter. There's an array of 3 different sets of holes to mount the actual handbrake itself. I was going to do slots, but it's going to be a lot more convenient if I just drill 3 positions and tap it. And then I can bolt through from the top, not have to worry about stuffing around with nuts coming up from the bottom. And the tunnel itself will probably hit the nuts anyway with how close I've got it to the shifter. Also, I can flip this plate up the other way, and that will allow me an additional 3 positions of adjustment for the hydro if I don't like where it sits. So next step, I have to do some tool paths. I'm just going to use 6.75 or 6.5mm drill bit for all of these. These are M6 holes. These have to be M8, but I'm going to tap threads, so 6.5, 6.75 close enough. Then I'm just going to use a 6mm end mill to whittle this out and do the outside edge. So I'll get into SolidCam and sort that out. Alright, so I've finished the tool paths now. It's really basic, just uses 2 tools. First of all, it runs around with 6.5mm drill bit, drills all of the holes, including 2 starters for these milling operations. That's actually a trachoidal mill, spins around little circles because it's more efficient. What will happen is it'll cut that centre circle out, and then I'll have to clamp it down from the middle, remove the outside clamps, and then cut it from the outside. Because I'm not making a jig for this, there's no need, it's a one-off. You see, outside will be done. Hopefully nothing will go wrong. So to ensure that this is going to work with the metal I've got, I've printed out a template. Just so happens by fluke to be exactly what I want. So I'll use that to cut the correct size piece on the saw and add this 0 point there with a centre punch ball similar. Okay, so I've got my template, I've marked my centre spot. I've started planning out my clamps. I've got a couple of pieces of sacrificial aluminium because I've got to drill all the way through this. I don't want to damage the bed. I've got some T-slot and some clamps for the outside. I've also taken the time to stick some extra T-slots on the inside of here so that when this centrepiece is cut out, I'm able to add some clamping without having to loosen these off and have the part move and then have to try and slide the T-slots in. So it's worth putting a little bit of planning in to do that, and obviously figure out where they're going to sit when it swaps over. There we go, middle bit removed, all the holes drilled, and that piece cut out. Took about 5 minutes, which isn't too bad considering it's all on conservative settings and I was going slow at the start. You can see the trachoidal finish that's left. Don't worry about that, it's not a show part. So I'll try and swap those clamps over now. Okay, so now I've switched the clamps over. I should be able to run around the outside with the other program, no worries. I may have to move this other way, it's going to hit. There we go, machined out. Didn't break anything surprisingly. Now I've just got to get it off the machine, clean up a bit, tap some holes and then hopefully see if it fits. Of course I've run into a problem. You can see here that the holes in the middle don't quite line up. That's because GKtech decided to not put the holes in the centre of the other ones. It's quite annoying. I don't really want to start again though, and it would make it impossible to flip the brackets if I put the holes up like that. So I'm just going to slot the holes. I'm fairly confident with the side-to-side force and some big washers. It's not going to be a concern at all. Most of the force on this unit will be backwards and forwards from the handbrake. Right, so I've slotted the holes enough to make it work. Not the greatest solution in the world, but I didn't want to remake the bracket, and I still think it's a pretty crappy design decision by GKtech. I can't see any reason why the holes weren't centered, but yes, I should have measured. But I was trying to do this in one night, so that's what you get. There we go, one mostly installed hydraulic handbrake. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, blew my time budget quite a bit, but at least I turned a piece of pissy scrap aluminium into something useful, and now I'm a step further. Remember to like and subscribe for more of this.